Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. I am your host, Jorge Hernandez. This is the part of the show where we take a look at the national and local fight news. Let's take a look at the national. Chad Mendes and Ricardo Lamas took place at UFC Fight Night 63 over the weekend. Mendes was easily able to handle Lamas and keep his #1 contendership in that featherweight division. So not a whole lot changing at the top of that division. So we'll definitely have to see if he gets a title shot the next time around. Gabe Gonzaga and Mikro Krokop will be taking place. The rematch, of course, taking place in Poland this weekend. Krokop will be looking to avenge a 2007 loss. The fight's going to take place at 1 p.m., again, 1 p.m. Mountain Time on UFC Fight Pass. So special timing for that fight. A not so special timing for this other fight. This actually took place. It took place kind of late at 10:30 p.m. over the weekend on Saturday. Gabe Rosado and Curtis Stevens actually in a pretty decent fight in BKB. It was the first time I actually gave BKB a shot. The two actually fought to a draw, even though Rosado was dropped early on in that fight. So more to see of BKB and how it can improve and grow here within the boxing community. NBC, PBC on NBC match. Of course, the graphic here behind me. Danny Garcia versus Lamont Peterson, Andy Lee against Peter Quillen in an excellent main event and co-main event contest that's going to take place on NBC. Second showing of the PBC on NBC, of course, there. And in more local and I guess national news, we're going to go ahead and have a fight between Orlando Salido and Rocky Martinez. Saturday night, April 11th, it's a special pay-per-view showing out of Puerto Rico. It's kind of odd to have this fight take place on pay-per-view, but nonetheless, it's for the WBO Super Featherweight title that's taking place in Puerto Rico. Again, Salido, Mexican, not a big fan of the Puerto Ricans aren't a big fan of him because he's defeated a few of their guys there. So that's enough with the national and international news. Let's roll the local news here for the New Mexico and El Paso area. Sparta MMA took place this weekend, contest main event between Clayton Wimer and Conrad Padilla. It was a fight that went to the third round with Clayton Wimer winning by rear naked choke. Conrad Padilla was able to knock Wimer's mouthpiece out halfway through the fight in a battle of an excellent, real excellent battle between the two guys. We'll take a look at highlights from that. John Sparks defeated Ryan Didier also in this fight via first-round submission with an awesome standing guillotine. Unfortunately, we won't have highlights of that one, but believe me when I say that it was incredible. More news is south of us here in Albuquerque, El Paso. Roy Jones Jr. will be holding a fight series to take place in El Paso May 16th. Fight Night Series will actually feature Joseph Abeco and Juanito Rubillar at the Southwest University Event Center in El Paso, Texas. So May 16th, that fight card is still shaping up, but nonetheless, it's good to see these bigger promotions and regional promotions coming to the area in a huge regional fight and national implications. Josh Torres of Albuquerque will be facing Randy Ganoy April 11th at the Albuquerque Convention Center. Of course, here in the heart and center of town, tickets have already sold up to 1,300 pre-sale, so you can expect a huge crowd. They're hoping at least 2,000 to come on hand in one of the bigger local boxing cards that I think has taken place here in Albuquerque since Holly Holm. Andres Quintana, of course, from Roswell originally and now training in Albuquerque out of Latrell's, will be taking on a fight May 7th against a veteran by the name of Gabriel Solorio. Again, May 7th. Tachi Palace Fights 23 in California. So Andres Quintana, obviously one of our top two, if not the top prospect here in the state of New Mexico. Hoping to shape up his record and hoping to improve it to 9-1, hoping to get to that 10-win mark to hopefully get it into the UFC. That'll do it. Local and national news. Let's roll with the highlights. Local fight here, Clayton Wimer and Conrad Padilla. Both guys, it was kind of awkward fight with Clayton Wimer being 7 inches taller than Conrad Padilla. As you can see, the height and length advantage here. Despite that, Conrad Padilla was still able to time Wimer with some shots, but Wimer's long reach, length, here's a rear naked choke that he was able to implement in the third round. It is extremely deep, as you can see, forcing Conrad Padilla to tap out. Conrad Padilla hopes to get another fight card here soon, hopefully within the next couple of months. Chad Mendes, here national, UFC of course. Chad Mendes, #1 contender, brought it to Ricardo Lamas in the first round of their fight. In a contest we all thought would be a little closer. Chad Mendes nonetheless keeps his #1 contendership for the featherweight division. hoping to take on the winner of a fight that's taking place in July, of course, with Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo. Here's another fight, the co-main event. Pretty interesting antics post-fight here. Ali Quinta against Jorge Masvidal in a fairly competitive fight. A lot of people felt that Jorge Masvidal, despite cutting Quinta, as you can see there, wasn't aggressive enough. As you can see there, he was catching shots, he was brushing them off, but Quinta was just consistently coming forward. When the decision was read, a split decision, he was actually booed by the crowd and kind of cussed them out. Here's another big fight that took place Saturday in the light heavyweight division. Sakio Bika against Adonis Stevens. Adonis Stevenson was able to land shots up the middle. He wasn't able to put Bika out despite Bika coming up in weight to fight for the championship. Here's to hoping that Adonis Stevenson and Sergey Kovalev can finally get a fight done. Is this weird for you guys? No ropes. BKB, big knockout boxing taking place in Las Vegas. Gabe Rosado and Curtis Stevens in a pretty good match nonetheless, even despite the fact of that small circle that's taking place. This is a fight that was shaped for guys like them. Obviously benefits the brawler a little bit more than the boxer, but Stevens was able to put Gabe Rosado down there with that check left hook. And that's going to do it for the headline and highlight segment of this week's show. After the break, coming up, they're fighting for the WBC USMBC title April 11th at the Albuquerque Convention Center. Josh Torres and Randy Ganoy will be in studio, so hang tight. Combat Sports Weekly, y'all.